So it was about this time yesterday where we were talking to our producer, Romeo, who was on cloud nine because he got an email saying that you have been okayed, you have been approved, you are going to El Salvador, you are going to go see your grandmother at what, 91 years old?
93.
93 years old.
Yeah.
Nice.
93. Any updates since then? Last 24?
No, I still have yet to speak with the lawyer. It's so weird, man, because, like, I think I mentioned it yesterday. Like, I feel like I got super excited when I ran into you in the hallway.
Yeah.
And I was so excited, and I couldn't believe it, right? And then, like, afterward, it kind of hits you where it's just like, don't get too excited.
Yeah, you know
And
what? And
I struggle with
I've
that.
also found that these things always take way longer than you want them to. Anything that you're really eager for always takes too long.
Well, especially with what
Yeah.
it's been going
Right.
on for years.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I've been dealing with this my whole life. 18
Right.
years in this country. You know, I've always been an immigrant, and that's kind of, I mean, signing, like, filling out paperwork for a job, illegal alien. It's the most hurtful thing you can think of, because it's one thing to feel like you're from a different country. It's another thing for somebody to label you an alien and then make you completely feel like you're like something else. You know, like you're not human at that point.
Is that still a checkbox on applications
I
that should
think-
really be made more politically correct?
It's undocumented now, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that the Biden administration like fill in to make sure like that like companies don't put that in the label. But I mean, it hasn't, like, the paperwork's still there.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So that was yesterday.
Yeah.
Today, we're talking about a completely different thing here because Romeo is struggling along with his dad while his dad is on a new sobriety journey.
Yeah, so a couple weeks back, I think I mentioned to you guys off air that my dad was hospitalized, and he was in the hospital for about 4 days, almost 5 days, and, like, you know, because of COVID, like, he was alone in there, like, by himself, and it was pretty scary because we didn't know what was going on. The doctors told us it was pretty much labeled like a mini stroke. It was very close to, like, completely, like, his body shutting down and things like that. And one of the biggest reasons was his drinking, his alcohol, his alcoholism, and like, I think growing up, like, I've always known my dad was an alcoholic, but he was a functioning alcoholic. And one of the things that I was grateful about was that he would get drunk, but he was never aggressive. So in my head, it was just, oh, it's not aggressive, so he's not an alcoholic.
It's not a problem.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. He's functioning. He's going to work. He's getting his things done, and is doing great. Like, he's not abusing his family. And I thought, there's no problem. And then slowly, I think, I started noticing he would drink like 5 shots a day. You know, like, it was a lot, and like a couple beers whenever he will eat and things like that. And the doctor straight up told him, like, look, it's your drinking. Like, this is what's causing you stress. It's causing you harm. And on top of that, lately he started abusing it more because of the all the coverage in the news about Afghanistan and all that. It sparked something in his brain. So my dad at the age of 17 was taken by the Salvadorian military. Without, you know, just taken straight up, like, grabbed them, they put him in the military, and
At how old?
17, I
Okay.
think 17, something like 18 or somewhere around there. And like, he always tells me, like, he was a kid when he went in there, like, he was just a kid, and, like, he lived through the civil war in El Salvador. Happened in the late 80s, early 90s, so he lived through the worst of the end of it, and I'm sure he's seen some horrible things. And, you know, with the news coverage of Afghanistan, I think it kind of sparked, like, PTSD, because he started having nightmares and visions, and he was getting, like, irritated with us, and, like, his drinking was, like, sparking up. Like, he would drink a lot more than normal, and then he had this, like, mini stroke, and he was in the hospital for 4 days, and since then he has not had a sip of alcohol, which is amazing. And I've seen my dad try to get off alcohol before, and I think that's one of the things I'm struggling with right now as well, because I'm carrying, like, this guilt of, like, what am I going to do when he takes a sip of alcohol, when he fails? And then it's just like, I think to myself, damn, like, I have no hope for my dad. Like, how is he supposed to have hope? You know what I mean? Like, I'm
Yeah.
already thinking of him failing.
Well,
That responsibility is really not on you.
yeah, but
No.
it's impossible not to take, especially when you're living under the same roof. It's so hard not to take a little bit of guilt and a little bit of responsibility for those kind of things. Don't look at it as a failure. Like, it's a road to recovery, and every road to recovery, illness, this is an illness, just the same, is going to have some hiccups. You're going to have some calls from the doctor, what have you, and just don't look at it as a failure. Like, it's going to be equally hard for him. He's going to be beating himself up about it, but being supportive in the road to recovery is the most important part.
100%. Man, that's really all you can do is
Right.
support them. I'm with Dog. There's nothing to add to that for me. It's just like there are going to be slip ups, and those aren't on you, and all you can be is supportive.
Try to keep like as positive of a mindset as you can, because that I've learned in your situation and trying to support, like that's tough sometimes, but they need you to be their strength when they can't. So you got to try to remain positive as possible to be like the best support system you can throughout it all.
And be aware that there might be some moodiness in the sobriety
Sure.
as well, just the same as it, started to affect him while he was drinking, because alcohol is a depressant, but when you're coming off of that, your body, like you are in that area. Yeah.
That's an emotional week for you, man.
Yeah.
Woo. Highs and lows.
Right.
Okay.
Sorry, it's hard.
It is hard.
The Bert Show.